Learn how to let users add a task by pressing the Enter key instead of always clicking the Add Task button. Our To-Do app is becoming more user-friendly. And in this lesson, we want to look at, instead of forcing users to click the Add Task button every time, we want to implement a way to listen for keyboard events on the input field. That is, if you type anything here, I want to use a keyboard like a keyboard key like Enter key to add that task without having to add task by clicking the Add Task button every time. So when a key is pressed, the JavaScript will check whether that key is the Enter key. And if it is, then we'll simply call our function to run, and that function will then trigger and invoke our setting conditions to run in order for such a task to be added to add to our web page on the other listing that we have on that web page. So let's look at how these events can be added to what we already have in JavaScript in our script code, so that we can see how we can use the Enter key to add tasks to our web page. So if we look at our code, let's come back to this part where we are actually listening for events. Add button.add event listener, click and button click, which is our function. So just under this function, let's put our keyboard events. And this keyboard event is going to make use of another add event listener. So we are going to add an event listener to this to listen for our Enter keypad on our keyboard. So let's start by targeting the input field first. The input field is the task input. And then let's attach add event listener to it. Add event listener. And what do we want to listen for? We want to listen for a key down event. And once this key down event is detected, let's run a function. Let this function accept events as a parameter. And now, inside this function, we simply want to do something very simple. We want to check using a conditional statement to see that if the key that is enter as the key down is actually the Enter keypad on our keyboard. If it is, then run our function. If it is not, then stop the function automatically. So let's apply the if statement and say if event.key equals enter, which is our Enter keyboard. Then if it is, run this function, button clicked. Now look at something. This is not double equals to. We are actually doing using a strict equality sign to actually ensure that this matches what we are trying to check for on our keyboard. So this is just how to add the keyboard event. And if we go ahead now, let me try and add a task. Add a task. Then let me press the Enter key. And now you can see successfully I've been able to add a new task on the page. New task. Another task. You can see that I didn't have the cost to click the Add Task button before I can do this. Now, notice that we didn't write another function to add task. We just reused the existing one, which is the button click that we passed inside this conditional check, which keeps our code cleaner and easier to maintain. So successfully, we were able to see that now we have two ways through which we can add a task. The first way is we can type a task, click Add Task button. And the other option is that we can type a task and press the Enter keypad. So both actions perform exact the same result. So if I add a new task, this works. Add a new task, then I'll press the enter keypad. This also works. So both options perform the same thing. Ability to add new tasks on the web page. So this is how you can actually use the keyboard event to support how you can actually manage or how you can actually add tasks to our to-do list app. So in this lesson, we have been able to see how we can reuse an existing function coupled with the fetching of events that happens using a key down click, which is what we expect our input box to listen for. And once it gets it, then dynamically update the on order list with whatever is entered inside that input field. Here are some key takeaways from this lesson. Number one, key down runs whenever a key is pressed. So whenever a key is pressed, this key down event runs. So it's an event that is just like the way we have the click event that is built into the language in order to work with keyboard. Then number two, the event.key property tell us which key was pressed, which is this event.key. So this property will let us know if this is the key that was pressed. So assuming we say, okay, this is a space key, and then if I try to add a task now, let me try with another key, add a task. So I'll first press enter. You can see that this didn't work, but let me try and press space. Now, even though this pressing space automatically added what is it called? An extra space and didn't add this, but what actually happened in this scenario is that the input box was able to detect, JavaScript was able to detect that a key was pressed on the keyboard, even though it is not the right key that is expected to be pressed. So even if I press it, it will indicate by adding extra space, but it will not do the work of what you want it to do. So the key down event that JavaScript recognizes is this enter for adding something additional on our page. So it's refreshing, and now let me click add a task and click on the enter keypad, and you can see that it immediately gets added to the web page. Vacation summer, enter keypad, and then it will get added to the web page. So we have successfully looked at how we can add tags by pressing the enter key in this lesson. Now here are some other few key takeaways alongside the two that I've mentioned earlier. And number three, we can check for the enter key using an if statement. You can see that we just use the if statement to see if what is enter is the enter keypad. And number four, reusing an existing function avoid writing duplicate code. We don't need to rewrite another function or add a new one in order to check. We were able to easily make use of what was already existing in our code.